Okay, I was doing some background research on the Scream movies with Scream 4 coming out, and I saw this small thing talking about, the new wave of slashers that came out due to Scream. And one was called Cherry Falls. And I was like, I have never heard of this movie. The other movies on the list are, like Valentine, which sucked. Yeah, I know it's did last summer, trilogy. And I'm like, okay, some of them weren't that bad, but a lot of the ones on the list are kind of lame. I was like, Cherry Falls. What is Cherry Falls? So I clicked on the link and, I had to hunt this one down. This is kind of, in some ways it actually mocks the conventional wisdom of a slasher flick. And you have Brittany Murphy. She's essentially kind of like one of the main stars in this movie. And of course, this is made in 2000. So this is, like 10 years ago. So the people who played the teenagers of this high school actually appear to be teenagers. So you have a guy who is essentially going out and killing kids at the high school. And most of the kids look like they actually belong in high school. Teachers look like teachers, Brittany Murphy's dad is a sheriff. After 3 people have been killed, they find out a common thread beyond them all going to the same school. They're all virgins. So yes, virgins are being slaughtered in this movie. Not people who have sex, but the virgins. They tell this at a news conference dedicated just to the parents. Of course, the parents react as most parents would. So what? You want our kids to all have random sex so that way they're all fine? The news makes it out to the student body. They then decide to have a Pop Your Cherry Ball. So all the kids get together to essentially have what you would assume to be kind of like a giant mass orgy. I should probably include, there is like no nudity in this movie. But you have the teenage kids actually act like teenagers. And once they realize, oh man, dude, we all gotta have sex or we're gonna die from a slasher. Dude, man, if we can just find a chick, if we can find like a serial killer who kills chicks who don't get head, dude, we're totally set. Revelation of the killer actually works fairly well, which is pretty different. The killer actually has an actual backstory that actually combines some of the main characters, which is great. That works really well. And it actually works pretty well. The Revelation of the killer is good. The end sequences are pretty decent. And then all of a sudden, the killer makes it to where the mass orgy is going on. And then it's like a minor slash-a-thon, because I don't know why everyone's just having sex the exact same way. There are mattresses on the floor, and everyone is in bra, underwear, and boxer shorts. And all have sheets over them. Why? Because when the killer's there, the killer's here, and everyone's running down, not a single person is naked. I don't know if they're all just dry humping or what. And that's when this movie goes from being really unique and pretty interesting, for the 2000s, and the way a slasher flick is done, to being really ridiculous and anticlimactic. I still feel like we cannot figure out how at the very end of it, when they're showing like the waterfall, they show like a blood patch emanating, and then the whole waterfall becoming blood red. Now, this movie I don't think was ever actually officially released, so it's a little bit harder to try to find a copy of. It is interesting from a slasher perspective. Someone who's going out and killing specifically virgins is different because normally if you have sex, you die. So it entirely breaks that tenet. Brittany Murphy, while playing the main sort of bizarre, brooding character, it actually works because she actually does seem bizarre and brooding. However, she looks really, really young in this. You wouldn't think she was in high school. The students look like students. The parents actually act more like parents. The revelation of the killer and the killer's history actually works fairly well. For a slasher flick, I can kind of figure why it's never actually got fully released. The idea of to not be killed, you need to have sex probably wouldn't go over very well in the overall mainstream media. That a movie that essentially is pro-sex or the slasher is going to kill you. But Cherry Falls, interesting. I thought it was good. It works. It works on a year 2000 slasher flick.